My name is Noom Brandenburg, and I am an optometrist, and I practice in North Atlanta. I'm in a private practice, a group private practice, where we see a lot of patients, both for medical conditions as well as for specialty contact lens and eyeglass fittings. And my husband and I started drinking Kangen water about 7 months ago, and a friend of ours was sharing the water with us with hopes that it would help my husband's medical conditions. At the time, he was suffering from severe migraines, extremely elevated blood pressure, some elevated cholesterol levels. He had some acid reflux. There was a whole bunch of health conditions he was dealing with, mainly stress-related. And after about a month of drinking the Kangen water, he went back to the doctor, and the doctor reported that he had lost weight. His blood pressure had come down almost 50 points, which was significant. He had some mildly lowered cholesterol levels, and his reflux and his migraine headaches were completely gone. As for me, I started drinking it with him in order to encourage him to drink the water. He was never a water drinker to begin with, and so we all had to come on board family-wise, otherwise he was going to go back to the soda. But as for myself, I was pretty healthy to begin with, and so for me, the changes were not as significant, but I did notice that after drinking the water for about 2 weeks, that my energy level increased significantly. I was able to stay up much later at night, get up much earlier in the morning, and not have the run-down feeling that I was having before. With the type of work that I'm in, I'm on my feet a lot and walking, around from room to room, and so the energy level increase really helped as far as my daily activities. As far as my personal experience with friends and patients and family, I encounter patients every day who have a multiple variety of health conditions, and they're not necessarily all elderly people. I have some young adults, even some young children who suffer from conditions such as diabetes and high blood pressure, even as young as 6 and 7 years old. And many of my diabetic patients will come in for their medical eye exam, and it's so that we can check for any signs of bleeding and leakage that occur in the back of the eye as a result of the diabetes that can potentially be vision threatening. And for me, I have found that for my diabetic patients that I have recommended this water to, that for those that have taken the step and tried it, many of them have reduced blood sugar almost, some of them pretty quickly within a week or two. Others within within a couple of months will come back and report that their doctors have reduced their insulin level. And as for the effects on the eye itself, I'm seeing less signs of fluctuating vision, where with diabetes, the blood sugar can fluctuate from day to day depending on their diets and their stress levels. And my diabetic patients who are taking or drinking the Kangen water have found that their night vision is improved, and that their vision is more stable from day to day, and we're not having to change their glasses as much, which saves them in their pocketbook too with their glasses. As far as for the other eye conditions that I have seen with patients, because the eye is a living and healthy tissue that is active, it's constantly taking in nutrients and constantly getting rid of the waste products and the toxins that develop in the cells. I have found that with Kangen water, it has the unique characteristics of the Kangen water to be able to eliminate waste and to be able to enhance metabolism are a very big enhancement to eye health in several conditions, namely dry eyes, macular degeneration, and glaucoma. And for my dry eye patients, dry eye is a condition where lack of tear film or poor quality tear film can cause the eyes to feel very uncomfortable. And it happens in people, especially who are on the computer a lot. It happens with a lot of elderly patients or patients who are taking multiple medications that can have a lot of side effects. And what I have found is I've recommended the water to several patients, and they have come back and reported that they don't have to use artificial tears during the day as often. And some of them have come off of the artificial tears completely, and some have even come off of their prescription medications that we've prescribed. There's another condition that can affect the surface of the eye, styes. I run into them quite a bit, especially living here in Atlanta. We have a lot of pollen in the air, and pollen can sometimes cause an inflammation of the eyelids, and not only does it cause puffiness and swelling around the eyes, it can cause styes to form on the eyelid itself. And using the 2.5 Kangen water sprayed on the eyelid will usually help resolve styes pretty quickly. It also helps to improve the appearance of puffy skin around the eyelids, and it reduces the sunken look of the eye sockets when the eyes become dehydrated. When we go to the inside of the eye, I do believe that anytime that you can eat foods or drink water that is highly oxidizing and high in antioxidants, you can improve the internal health of the eye. And there's a condition called macular degeneration that affects a lot of people. Matter of fact, it affects about 1 out of every 3 people over the age of 70. And I do see quite a few people who suffer from macular degeneration. Macular degeneration occurs because the center part of the eye, or the most sensitive part of the eye, called the macula, begins to break down, and it can no longer efficiently remove the waste products. And so as a result, those waste products sit on the retina, which is the most sensitive part of the eye, and it can lead to bleeding, it can lead to scar formation, and eventually to potential blind spots, which can lead to blindness, central blindness particularly, which affects direct vision when people are watching TV, reading, driving, and it can be devastating to the vision. Now, research has proven that for patients who have macular degeneration, if they increase their intake of antioxidants, and especially with certain supplements that are high in antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, they can actually stabilize and slow down the progression of the macular degeneration. We can't really say that it cures it, but it definitely has led to a great deal of improvement. It can stabilize it so the patient no longer loses vision as a result of the progression of macular degeneration, which is very important for maintaining quality of life. And because of Kangen water's ability to because Kangen water possesses about 8 to 10 times the antioxidant value as most normal foods, I do believe that it can be used as an adjunct to help increase the antioxidant level and to also help eliminate the waste from the macula and thereby improve the vision for people who have macular degeneration. There's another condition that affects the inside of the eye, and that's glaucoma. And glaucoma is a condition where damage to the optic nerve can lead to blind spots in the vision. And there is a strong correlation with blood flow to the eye and the increased incidence of glaucoma. And it's my opinion that patients who have glaucoma can greatly benefit from drinking Kangen water because of its ability to enhance blood flow to the back of the eye and to enhance circulation. And then on a last note, we mentioned earlier about the diabetes, and diabetes, like glaucoma, is also related to blood flow. It's no coincidence that patients who have higher incidences of high blood pressure, diabetes, and even sleep apnea, which affects the blood flow to the back of the eye, have higher incidences of glaucoma and other forms of retinopathy that can affect vision. So in my opinion, this is a water that it has a great deal of potential for helping patients who have eye health problems, and I've been using it quite a bit, in our own family, but I've also been recommending it to patients because of its unique characteristics to be able to reduce inflammation and to be able to increase blood flow and thereby enhance vision for the rest of their lives.